To be honest, boxing's never seen nothing like this in the history of boxing. Since it began 250 years ago, it's never seen anything like this. I believe this is going to be great for boxing. I believe we're going to win.
He's going to have, after the fight is over, then
Saturday, you will be ready. We talk about Roy. Royford was 4 years ago. Today, Mike is much better than he was when he fought Roy.
Mike Tyson is fully sharp in training camp, sparring at full power, pushing limits, and preparing intensely for the upcoming challenge.
Jeff Mayweather explains that Floyd has always embraced the villain image. A clash with Tyson could test his legacy while still highlighting his unmatched confidence and ring IQ.
Lynch.
Round one. Oh, feel. Cut the ring. Exactly. Cut the ring. Exactly.
Meanwhile, Tony Jeffries suggests Floyd's comeback is fueled by pride, saying he refuses to be overshadowed, especially after Tyson's headline-grabbing bout with Jake Paul.
Why? It's easy, because Floyd always was the bad guy. Once again, he's going to be the bad guy. And so, I think that if there's any way to try to remove his oath, it may happen.
Mayweather looks razor-sharp in camp, gliding with impressive speed and agility, showing flashes of the brilliance that defined his championship era.
We've got to make as much money as we can while we can, and then get out of the sport. With these two, we have multi-millionaires. And I want to get into the tail of the tape, talk about exactly the records and all that stuff with it. But first, I just want to say, I believe that these are doing this for different things. Mike Tyson is doing it purely for the money. Purely for the money. Floyd is doing it for the money as well, but also, I believe Floyd's doing it for that limelight. You've seen the numbers that Mike Tyson, Jake Paul got, and I think this is the most viewed fight of all time. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. I might be wrong in saying that, but I'm sure it was. It was hosted on Netflix. And Floyd's been one in the past with his ego that he wants to just, be in that limelight all the time. And when you're not in the limelight all the time, you want to...
He hammers the heavy bag with precision and power, displaying elite timing, flawless technique, and relentless focus.
Slide and drop. Punch it, wait till hip hook up. Drop, drop. Walk it, walk it, walk it. Pitch it. Pitch it. 6, 6. Punch it. Pitch it. Watch it, watch it. I step back like I have my distance. That's why I step. See, I have my distance. Fighters don't know their distance. You gotta know your distance.
Analyst Henry questions boxing's direction as legends return for exhibitions. With Manny Pacquiao reportedly set to face Rukia Anpo and Mayweather linked to Tyson, he believes these events seem driven more by money than competitive necessity. Tyson's recent return against Jake Paul only deepened the debate. Still, Henry admits the spectacle would be massive, especially with Netflix involved. The real storyline, he says, is decline, who has lost more sharpness. Floyd has been inactive, but Pacquiao has endured more wars. That uncertainty creates intrigue, even for critics.
Mayweather's taking on Mike Tyson of all people. I mean, that's the most money-motivated thing I've ever heard. It's utterly bizarre. And I don't want to see Mike Tyson anywhere near the ring again, especially after that Jake Paul fiasco. This whole thing's incredibly weird. I don't like it. I'm a proper boxing fan, and these fights to me, this OAP stuff they've got going on when they bring back these old fighters for one more go at each other, it's just not something that I particularly enjoy. Now look, it's going to be on Netflix. It's probably going to be a massive event. I'm probably going to end up covering it because they are two former champions of note, and it is going to go on their professional records. But if you thought the first fight wasn't particularly entertaining, I can't imagine this one's going to be much better. The one thing I will say is that I believe Pacquiao's in better condition than I realized after the effort he put in against Mario.
Adele Adu raises doubts about the reported Mayweather-Tyson clash in Democratic Republic of the Congo. Announced in February for September, the long promotional gap feels unusual, either a bold global buildup or signs of uncertainty behind the scenes.
Has not had a proper fight in such a long time, which you could argue means he won't be as sharp in the ring. But then on the other hand, Pacquiao's had way more fights than Mayweather has, so you could argue he's got less left in the tank. It's difficult to figure out what it means for either guy, and we don't really know which way it's going to go. But I guess, if I'm being really honest, as much as I don't love it, there's always going to be a little bit of intrigue there. Kind of don't like myself for it, but I'm just being honest with you guys. And I think if we want to have a real conversation about what this fight represents is a continued frustration around the truth about the first fight, which was that it came too late and it turned into more and more of a cash grab. This fight embodies that to a whole new level. Even for the broadcaster Netflix, I don't believe they're truly invested in the sport of boxing. They'll take one-off big events that get them more subscribers, that increase their revenue, that increase their subscription base, but they don't really care about the sport. If they did, they'd be putting on a lot more events than just these mega fights that involve, influencers and fighters that are well past them.
He also analyzes Netflix's strategy, favoring spectacle-driven events and crossover appeal, much like the massive numbers generated by Jake Paul shows. Though skeptical, he admires Mayweather's brilliance, comparing his marketing genius and ring intelligence to Conor McGregor in the MMA world.
There was also talk about Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson in the Congo. Is that now scrapped? Why are they announcing this several months before the event? I mean, is it a massive build-up? I mean, when you think about it, most fights are announced 3 months, 4? for an event. This one, September. We are in February, people. Like, what is going on? I mean, what are Netflix doing? Netflix are kind of, obviously, they're picking up and putting on really random stuff. Like Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. If you are an MMA fan, that fight was supposed to happen way more than a decade ago. Way more than a decade ago. They're doing it now. Will it get big numbers? I guess it kind of will. They've obviously done the Jake Paul stuff. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. Jake Paul versus AJ. They done massive numbers. Crawford Canelo, a serious fight, and then they're doing...
Wade Plemons speaks honestly about Floyd's return, highlighting the tension between legacy and financial reward. For longtime fans, seeing a legend return at this stage can feel more commercial than competitive.
Massive Floyd fan. Like, my journey into boxing, obviously when I was young, it was very much Mike Tyson, but then it went and became a UK thing. The ITV days of, I don't know, Ben Eubank, etc., Michael Watson, and then eventually Joe Calzaghe, Prince Nassim, etc., etc. My reason for going back and watching American boxing is solely down to Floyd. But I was obsessed with everything Floyd Mayweather did. I thought he was a genius when it comes to marketing and a genius in the ring. It's very rare that the two go together, which is why I think everyone kind of fell in love with Conor McGregor, right? Because Conor McGregor was a genius outside the ring in terms of how to sell a fight. And in the octagon, he actually proved that he can fight as well. Floyd, obviously on a completely different level, but you know what I mean? Very similar. Someone that talks the talk and walks the walk. And Floyd most certainly did.
Plemons dismisses rumors about Floyd facing financial trouble, insisting claims of massive debt are exaggerated. However, he acknowledges the event would be highly lucrative. In his view, it's a calculated move, balancing business opportunity with competitive pride while protecting Mayweather's brand.
Floyd Mayweather had financial troubles because of the money he owed to the IRS, because of the terrible business and real estate investments that he's made, and apparently some of these have gone under, and he is owed back rent, or he is owing back rent, and he is delinquent on a lot of payments for a lot of different things right now. These things seem to have added up for Floyd, and now it's pretty apparent that not only is he doing these, bank robbery style exhibitions, but it looks like he absolutely needs to do it, which is very sad. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of Floyd Mayweather as an individual outside of the ring, but I never want to see athletes have their money mismanaged or mismanage their own money so badly that they go broke in retirement, and it looks like that's kind of what's happening. And here's a snippet from Business Insider because it made me want to pay for the entire article.
Ariel Helwani questions whether the fight is necessary at all. He warns that bringing aging fighters back risks their health and could damage their legacy. For him, the bout feels more like a spectacle than a meaningful contest.
He strongly denies any kind of financial distress, but the headlines aren't slowing it down. $54 million alleged dollars in debt. So it makes sense why they would want to do this, and it's strictly for money, let's be honest. This is a clear money grab, but this is going to be a terrible fight. This is not going to be a fight that anyone outside of watching Mike Tyson walk to the ring and the idea that maybe he'll knock out the little guy in Floyd that Tyson for a long time didn't like. For a long time called Floyd a small little angry man or a small little scared man because he couldn't walk his kids to school by himself, mainly because Floyd had, he kind of disrespected Muhammad Ali, who was Mike Tyson's favorite fighter and one that he would never put himself above. But Mike's 60 years old, and if there was a time for Mike to get him and knock him out or whatever, it never would have happened because they were in completely different weight classes and X, Y, Z. If you wanted to settle it outside of boxing, that's one thing, but now they're stepping into this exhibition. There's not going to be any weight classes.
Johnny Nelson offers a balanced take, noting that despite their age, Mayweather still shows impressive speed and sharpness in training. He reminds fans that decisions to return often involve pride, finances, and the desire to stay relevant. According to Nelson, these legends still possess the skill and experience to perform at a high level if managed wisely.
These economic times, there's economic challenges. These corporations and companies, they're looking to make profit. And if they put out a pay-per-view, and a lot of people, another thing is the fighters. I'm blaming the fighters too, because there's a lot of guys, they're not bigger than the fighters of yesteryear. That's why you can have a Floyd Mayweather and a Mike Tyson, whose brands are so big. This is going to be a big fight. It's going to be, just because it's a freak show, circus fight, whatever you want to say. Some people are going to be mad at it. I don't want to see it, blah, blah, blah. But the curiosity is always going to get the best of the masses, especially if they put this on Netflix or Amazon or whoever, right? And that's the reality. A lot of these new fighters, Gen Z fighters, people under 30, they're not marketing them.
Analyst Henry questions boxing's direction as legends return for exhibitions. With Manny Pacquiao reportedly set to face Rukia Anpo and Mayweather linked to Tyson, he believes these events seem driven more by money than competitive necessity. Tyson's recent return against Jake Paul only deepened the debate.
Then you're going up against Floyd Mayweather. This guy was unbeaten as a fighter. He still physically has ring craft. He still physically can move around about the ring and do what he has to do. I think for Mike Tyson, he's going to be very frustrated. He will want to lay a shot on him to get rid of him. But unfortunately, you slow down, Father Time gets the better of us all. And even though I think when it comes to a fan's favourite, I'm quite sure most of the fans would love to see Mike Tyson put Floyd in his place. And that's probably what will be the attraction as well. But you've got to remember, Mike Tyson's 59 years old. You've got to remember, Floyd Mayweather is still hitting the bag in the gym. He's still moving around, even though he's 48 years old. But you've got to remember, these guys are individuals. They're fathers, they're brothers, or whatever. And they still want to earn a massive chunk of money. Where's Mike Tyson? Whatever they're getting paid. Where's Mike Tyson at 59 going to earn this kind of money? Where's Floyd Mayweather at this time of life going to make this kind of money? It doesn't matter what we say about legacy. These guys are still going to live. These guys are still thinking, you know what, I'll take the heat, I'll take the criticism, but you know what, my bank account's all right, my family's all right. And I know it's crude, and I know it takes the shine off it, but that's real talk. So these guys are now in a position where where people want to pay them a lot of money to fight each other. It's against somebody they don't like. So again, ego's going to get the better of common sense. With Mike, as far as I'm concerned.
As the countdown begins, the question remains, will this be a historic masterclass or a risky spectacle? Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson have nothing left to prove, yet everything to protect. Legacy, pride, and global attention are all on the line. One is known for flawless defense and ring IQ, the other for explosive power and raw aggression. Experience meets experience. Discipline meets destruction. Whether you see it as business or brilliance, one thing is certain. The world will be watching. So the real question is, who walks away with their legacy untouched? Let me know your prediction in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more exclusive boxing updates. Boxing Fire